next one I want to talk about, which I'm sure there will be a few who agree with, is SHOKUGEKI no SOUMA. Oh my goodness!
I love this show.
Look at him.
There's nothing that I hate about the show other than that it is only 22 minutes long. The only thing that I hate about it.
I mean, and it continues. It picks up right where the last season left off, and it just continues to drive it forward from there. And you see just more trials and tribulations that he has to go through. But I also like how they kind of, like, especially towards the later part of the season when he went to do his, I guess you could kind of say his internship to other places, that they kind of showcased the other people too. They didn't just drop off and just show him and what he was doing. It's like, while he's doing this is going on over here, and this is going on over here, and this is going on over here. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So you actually kind of see how things are going. And I like how they actually continue on with the girl. Can't remember her name at the moment.
You said Nikiti, right? Alice?
The one that basically is like falling for him.
Oh, I can't think of her name.
Yeah.
But the
like,
quiet girl.
Yeah. They show everyone else kind of like little bits and pieces, but they showed her a little bit more. And I'm like, okay, I like that. Because that kind of insinuates to me, it's like you're going to continue on with that. And there might be something kind of going in between them and everything. Yeah. So I like the idea behind that. And I'm not usually one for trying to pit people together or whatnot. But that's one of them I'm like, that should go together.
I believe the proper term is shipping.
Yeah, I was about to say you're not in the shipping business.
I'm not in the shipping business, but I think I'd probably ship those two. But anyways, and it's cool to see. It's like, because the world of cooking is so vast and broad, it's cool to see they can continue to evolve it. It's never like a rehash of anything. It's never stale. It's always, he's continuing to learn all the different cooking methods, all the different cooking foods and combinations, and how like things are prepared. And it's just, and you're again, even though you're like, he's kind of like that personality where he's like, oh, I got this, I can totally do this. You still kind of root for him, because he, even though he does kind of get it, there are times where he stumbles and you see it. But you're still like, all right, come on, you can do this, dude. Come on, you got this, you know. So I like that. I like animes that kind of get you involved in that sort of way too, where you're rooting for him and everything.
Yeah, and it's not a character that is just like, it's gonna work out in the end. You see him, you see the amount of work that he puts in, and he does it. He feels that way for a reason. He goes through the effort, the practice. He goes through the studying. He does all of his trials and.
Oh yeah, I mean, like with at the restaurant,
yeah,
that he went to with the teacher.
Yeah,
I mean, I again, he failed like the first time, but he picked it up, and he kept pushing it.
And then even in the end, he still failed, but it wasn't like, you failed, you suck. It was like he failed, but then the teacher's all like, well, you know, you can do this. You can do that. And he's like, oh, yeah, you know, you're right. And he keeps studying. He's like, and they're trading notes. And then in the end, he ends up working it out. So
he's like, I didn't like your dish, but let me show you how I would have done it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, hey, that's kind of cool. So he's actually like, and you know, it's not, you know, you failed, get out of my sight, you know, and everything. There are people around him who see the potential in him.
Yeah.
And they want to help that.
Yeah.
They don't, you know, if it was, I feel like if it had been anybody else, like anyone else had come into that kitchen and tried to do that, he'd have failed them and just tell them to get lost, get out of here. Even if they had come up with that exact same dish, he still would have told them to get lost, get out of here. But it's the fact that it's him and they see that potential inside them. They're like, all right, let me show you how I would have done that. You know, and it's like, I feel for that. I'm like, that's cool. I like that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, because they even say that, and it's one of the episodes, I think is where he's going against the cousin the one that uses science when she cooks.
Oh, yeah.
They're comparing him to all of the other students, and I think it's the grandfather that says, like, all of the other students are all ready to quit. They're all would have just bowed out because of who they're going against, and he's the only person that's looking at this like an opportunity to succeed, and he's not bowing down. And that's just the personality that he's had throughout the whole time. He's not scared to fail. He's not scared to try something new, and he's willing to put all of his effort into his cooking.
Yeah,
and he's confident.
He's gone up against his father how many times and failed.
Keep it count.
How many times? But he keeps going for it, and that's very, even with all his boasting and pessimistic in regards to, like, because there are some characters who have that type of personality, and you're like, oh, I want him to stop, just stop. Yeah. But he does it just enough to where he kind of has that, but he's still humble enough to know, okay, I didn't quite succeed there. Let's redo that. Let's rethink that. Let's go over that again. And keep pushing it, keep trying for it, keep making it happen, keep making it work, you know. And again, it's like you feel for him and you root for him. It's like when he was having that hard time trying to figure out how to make the best fish that he possibly could. Yeah. And he got the idea from the grandmother in his house, and both me and were watching, and they were like, he figured it out. Yeah, sweet. What's he gonna do?
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? You know, like,
and then it makes you wonder all the way to the end of the episode. What is it that he's gonna make? What's the secret?
You see that light bulb flash in his head, and you're like, he got it. He has an idea. This is gonna work. We're gonna do something. This is gonna happen. You know, and it's exciting. It's exhilarating feeling kind of thing, because it pulls you into it. You feel enough with it that you're like. You're with him, and you have that same exuberance and idea pop that in his head. That feeling comes to you. You don't know what it is. That feeling still came to you. You're like, oh, this is gonna be so cool, you know. So that's why I really appreciate this one. I think. Yeah. So.
I recommend it to everybody. Because it's goofy, but it's still serious and it's still intense. The story never really lulls. You don't get any episodes that you feel are wasted, because everything kind of builds on something, whether it's not him or one of the other characters. And going back to what you were saying about how it shows all the other characters, it really feels like it is a school experience, because it starts off with just him, and then as he's progressing through the school, he is making friends. So then you're also interested in all of his friends that are cooking with him. Mm-hmm. So they show their stories because you're just as interested in their stories as his. So you want to know if they're doing good or they're doing bad.
They're all interesting and unique characters on their own.
Yeah.
And I think I really appreciate that too. They made it to where even though they're all cooks, they're all chefs, they all have their own background, they all have their own story, and they all have their unique characteristics that separate them from each other. So you never feel bored with any of them, because you're like, oh, he's new. What's he doing? Or, you know, how's he handling this? Because you'd already think how the main character would handle the situation, but here's another personality that has the complete polar opposite of him. How's he doing with this? You know, and you're like, oh, okay. So, yeah.
Another complaint, it's like a minor complaint though, is how the hell do they eat all that food and stay skinny? Like, man, I would be chowing down all day if I could cook that good, man.
I know. The amount of food and things that they create there, I'm like, oh, that all looks good. That looks good too. That looks really good. I'd eat all of that.
Yeah.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah. No, it's a great show. Hey, if you're not watching it, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because that is just a great show. There's nothing.
Big D.
Yeah. Big D. What's wrong?
What's wrong?
I can't do it.
You have to. There are laugh out loud moments in the show. You laughed about that one scene where that guy opens the door and she's like pulling her underwear down. Like, that made you stop. This show has laugh out loud moments in almost every episode.
Yeah. And I hope, and I think it will, because they've done it for so long now. But I hope it continues with him and the Little Miss High and Mighty.
Oh yeah.
How she's always like aggravated with him and thinks of him like as a, you know, I hate him. I want to get rid of him. And he's just looking at her like, what? You know, because he has like no care whatsoever, and thinks of her as just another person. Whereas she's just like, oh, I hate him so much. I just want to get rid of him. He needs to go away. And then all of a sudden, he'll just like appear to front and be like, hi, what's up?
Yeah.
What are you doing here? Get away!
You're not allowed to talk to me. Don't you know that I am the heir to blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah? So what are you going to eat?
I was like, that's cool. So could you help me with this? You know, you're like, oh.
You want to try this peanut butter squid?
Oh, he's still trying to do that?
Yeah, well, some people. But anyways, but it's so bad. I mean, it's interesting the way they do it, but it's so bad because he recalls all the deaths he's been through.
Oh, man.
It's like, you know, when you have to feel that pain and know what it's like while you're alive and you don't have to have that pain, it's like, oh, wow. I mean, there are times he emotionally breaks down, and I don't blame him.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm still at the good part, so.
Okay. Well, let me save you some time.
Yeah.
You can move on to other ones. Trust